दास हृदासने बस दिया रस दास रस दास हृदासने बस से विपद जुगल सदा भरा अनुरागे से विपद जुगल सदा भरा अनुरागे আজি মু কহুছি মোর মন কথা তুম আগে আজি মু কহুছি মোর অন্তকালে দেব দেখা আগে চির দিন সখা অন্তকালে দেব দেখা আহে চির দিন সখা অন্তকালে দেব দেখা কর জড়িয়ে ভিক্ষা অধমনে রত মাগে কর জড়িয়ে ভিক্ষা অধমনে রত মাগে আজি মু কহুছি মোর মন কথা তুম আগে আজি মু কহুছি মোর সুখ শান্তি মাগু নাহি যাছি ভোগী বিভাগে সুখ শান্তি মাগু নাহি যাছি ভোগী বিভাগে আজি মু কহুছি মোর মন কথা তুম আগে আজি মু কহুছি মোর মন কথা তুম আগে আজি মু কহুছি মোর জয় গুরু। জয় গুরু। দূরে বহু দূরে আখির শিবরে রূহ নাহি প্রিয় দূরে বহু দূরে আখির শিবরে রূহ নাহি প্রিয় তুম প্রেম দান এই মনোহর তুম প্রেম দান এই মনোহর বিন্দুয়ে মুকুতাইয়া বিন্দুয়ে মুকুতাইয়া দূরে বহু দূরে আখির সে পারে রূহ নাহি প্রিয় রূহ নাহি প্রিয় ডাকিଥିଲି দিনে ସାଇଁ ଡାକିଥିଲି ଦିନେ ଆସିଥିଲ ସାଇଁ ଶୋଇଗଲି ତୋ ପ୍ରୀତି ମଧୁ ପିଇ ଶୋଇଗଲି ତୋ ପ୍ରୀତି ମଧୁ ପିଇ চেতে উঠি যাহি দেখিলা বেলাকু চেতে উঠি যাহি দেখিলা বেলাকু তুমি আও পসিনা তুমি আও পসিনা দূরে বহু দূরে আখির সে পারে রুহ নাহি আও প্রিয় দূরে বহু দূরে আখির সে পারে রুহ নাহি আও প্রিয় লিখিছিলাম মোর হৃদয় দিপাড়ি লিখিছিলাম মোর হৃদয় দিপাড়ি প্রেমময় তুমি দেই গল ছাড়ি প্রেমময় তুমি দেই গল ছাড়ি তুম বিনে আছি তোমার জানা তুম বিনে আছি তোমার জানা কি পরি করিবি কহা কি পরি করিবি কহা দূরে বহু দূরে আখির সে পারে রুহ নাহি আও প্রিয় দূরে বহু দূরে আখির সে পারে রুহ নাহি আও প্রিয় জঞ্জাল জীবনে কেবে কেবে ধরে জঞ্জাল জীবনে কেবে কেবে ধরে মনে পড় মোর বিজন বেড়ারে মনে পড় মোর বিজন বেড়ারে জানি তন পারে কেউ দূর লোকে জানি তন পারে কেউ দূর লোকে গোপনে গোপনে থাও গোপনে গোপনে থাও দূরে বহু দূরে আখির সে পারে রুহ নাহি আও প্রিয় দূরে বহু দূরে আখির সে পারে রুহ নাহি আও প্রিয় নয়ন দীপারে তুম আলোকরে নয়ন দীপারে তুম আলোকরে তুম
মোচন পূজা I'm used to it. Or I am disconnected. I'm not disconnected. So they are not. So 271 our Paribrajakacharya sadhana for permission of self. Sadhana for permission of self. I don't tell you anything suitable as per convenience of time or by grabbing the opportunity stemming from the weakness of any country or age. I always speak what is good for one and all. See how many movements are created in this country. Today, those are lost in the womb of forgetfulness. But when I speak, I first contemplate over its far-reaching consequences. The common people lack this power to think of such consequences. One cannot discover the path of welfare unless one's mind is free from desire. Always remember it. The clamor outside may, at intervals, create doubt and excitement in your mind. On comparative analysis, you may not find novelty in my advice or instruction. It may so happen that outside clamor might generate disbelief in your idea. But always remember that your ideal is selected by a soul. Try to realize its benefits patiently. Whatever I have told relates to the formation of self. If you become a man, you can bring welfare to your family, society, and country. First, be a man. One cannot accomplish the formation of self simply by creating din and bustle or by delivering lecture in meetings. But the formation of self necessitates self-control, sincerity, and humble feeling. I have instructed one and all, whether they are sannyasis or householders, to follow the sadhana of mat karma paramo bhava. Consider my works supreme. It is not a new sadhana, it is a sadhana of Gita. On advice of Sri Krishna, Arjuna won supreme peace and liberation simply by performing the actions advised by Sri Krishna. This sadhana is par excellence. In my will has manifested eternal truth and feeling. You ungrudgingly contribute your help to the propagation of that eternal truth and feeling. If you can discover a better path than the path of truth I have chosen, you may set up separate monastery and mission. But staying in my monastery and hermitage, do not go against me. I have seen the downfall of many people when they have gone to assert their mastery over Gurudev. I have repeatedly cautioned you so that you not move on a wrong path due to any erroneous impressions.
Nindama Krishna.
Connect. Disconnect it, right?
नहीं हम सुन पहले नहीं भी पढ़ो
एबे सुन पड़छन भाई
again
जय गुरु न्याचुरल सारस्वत संघ पुरी अमेरिका सारस्वत संघ 720th संघ पूजा सेशन रिपोर्ट डेट एंड टाइम June 7, 2020 टाइमिंग 7:15 AM to 11:40 AM Eastern Time पाड़िया युक्ता कल्पनामा एंड लीनामा अधिवास पूजा June 6, 2020 अधिवास पूजा was held at Nigam Smruti Mandir at 7 PM Eastern Time. Attendance sheet is available in the member of section of the answers website. First session 7:15 AM to 8:45 AM Eastern Time. The morning session of the puja started at 7:15 AM with Pratiksha. During Pratiksha, Arpita Ma sang Janai Padejodi Karahe Karunakara and Puja Ma sang Phuta Phullo Mujhe Tumo Patha Chahi. During that time, all the devotees joined the puja either at Nigam Smruti Mandir or via teleconference. Sanwati Bhai performed the arati. The Smita Bai Ma sang the Bandana Bandai Guru Charana and Stotra Bandana. Jana Bhai read the Parichatra special prayer during COVID-19 pandemic, followed by Samladni and Asana Mandira Nitya Puja Prarthana. Then Sonia Ma read Sangha Sevaka 15th year part 2 Bandana Prarthana and Prarthana Karika Prati. After the reading of Sangha Sevaka, Sasmita Ma read Sri Guru Gita Shloka number 106. Then Lidnama invited Sri Thakura, Bhais, Maj and young aspirant to attend the second session. The first session was concluded with Jai Guru Mahanama. After the first session, Balya Bhoga was offered to Sri Thakura and Bhai, Maj and young aspirant accepted Prasad. Second session 9:45 AM to 11:45 AM Eastern Time. The second session of the puja started at 9:40 AM with Abahana. During Abahana, Supanyama sang Tume Jebe Priya Hasi Dekha Diya Gopana Marame Rahi. And Uditama sang Aswahi Thakura Nabina Sundara Asama Hruda Mandira. This was followed by Pranamagana and opening the asana. The Miluma sang the Bandana Prabhu Sama Kamaniya Nahi Au. Manavata Ma Parichapatra and Smitama sang Vishwapati Pranam. Usama read the Nigam page 270 to 271. Selection of path through vision of truth. Yanabha read the minutes of the last Sangha Puja. The Pallavi Ma read Thakura Chithi to Maj. The Rasmi Chaudhary Ma sang Prarthana Sangita Kede Sudha Bala Asisha Tumara Mopori Adhama Janapai. Then Rasmi Ma read Rasmi Pandama read Samsara Pathe Part 1. The Jnana Bhai led the question and answer and discussion session. Then the young aspirant session was started with Prarthana Sangita He Dayalu He Daradi He Chira Sundar sung by Saraswati. Then Usama led the discussion in the young aspirant session. Then Yukta, Linama and Kalpanama did their Bhava Vinima Seva, followed by invitation for Madhyana Bhoga and evening puja. Then Aditi and Vinay Bhai invited Sri Thakura to the Sangha Puja to be held on June 16, 2020. After that, Kalpanama prayed for forgiveness from Thakura, all Bhai, Maj and young aspirants. The session was concluded with Vidaya Prarthana Dayama Shichirani sung by Sibani Mahantima, and the asana was taught with Jai Guru Namakirtana and Pranama. Jnana Bhai took the attendance of all Bhai and Maj present for the puja. Then Madhyana Bhoga was offered to Sri Thakura, followed by Prasada Sevana. Sri Thakura Chanashita, Yukta, Kalpanama and Lina. Jai Guru.
Jai Guru. Guru. सबसे पूर्व पाराग्राफ को आरंभ करूँ कारण आमर अच्छी श्लोकटा पर रही आरंभ करुँची नेक्स्ट पाराग्राफ श्लोक अर्थ दिया कि श्लोकटा कहीं दिखाई पूर्व पाराग्राफ It is true that people could know about the ideal of bhakti from Radhakrishna Lila, but they could not, as such, find the path of sadhana to attain that ideal. So, their thirst for attainment of nectar of love could not be quenched. Of course, a very few devotees like Joydava, Chandidas, and the others attained Siddhi in the sadhana of love due to divine blessing, but it was not possible for common people to have access to that secret path. So, Bhagavan had to incarnate again to establish that idea of sadhana. Who else except Bhagavan, the embodiment of completeness, can initiate incomplete man to that idea? So, Sri Krishna said, Yat yat acharati seshtah tat tat iva itoro janah svayat pramanam kurute lokah tat anuvartate. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, 3rd chapter, 21st sloka. The common people in a society follow what the great people practice. Even though God, as such, has no work to perform, but out of compassion, he himself follows the religious norm to educate people. In other words, God assumed human form to teach common people through his own action and conduct. When common people were extremely eager to attain Prema Bhakti on the ideals of Radha Krishna, Bhagavan, the ocean of compassion, resorted to Radha Bhava, the Ladini Shakti, and incarnated as Sriman Mahaprabhu Gauranga in Navadvipa. So, the Vaishnavas claim that both Radha and Krishna merged in a single body to become Sri Gauranga. Sri Radha outside and Krishna within. That is, it was Sri Krishna who, being clad with bhava and appearance of Radha, incarnated as Sri Gauranga. Although this tattva is not comprehensible to the scriptural scholars, but it can easily be realized by sadhaka scholars in no time. Sri Rupa Goswami, in his works, has depicted Radha Krishna Pranaya Vitruti Alladini Sakti Asmat Ekatmana Bopi Bhupi Purat Deha Vedam Gopo Utau Chaitanya Achyam Prakata Madhunam Tat Dvayamcha Aikyam Aptam Radha Bhavadviti Subharitam Nomi Krishna Swarupam. Although Radha and Krishna are one and the same Atma, but they appear with different forms toward the end of the Aparajuva. Later on, in the first love, both the forms, Later on, in the first eve, both the forms again merged into one to realize Prema Rasa in the form of Sri Chaitanya, whose self was Krishna being clad with bhava and splendor of Radha. It is because both Radha and Krishna were condensed form of Chit Shakti in gross body. Therefore, the self of both is of same element. Difference lies in bhava and appearance. Hence, at the end of the Lila, it is reasonable that there may be change in bhava and appearance of Radha and Krishna in the great union of their self. Radha and Krishna in the great union of their self. But it is not possible to perceive change in the other aspect. On the other hand, due to the dominance of the Shaktiman over Shakti, the self of Krishna assumed the bhava and appearance of Radha during union. But the self of Radha did not assume the bhava and appearance of Krishna. The sectarian, parochial, arrogant, and bookish scholars raise a lot of dust and discussion in connection with Mahaprabhu Sri Gauranga Deva. Although they accept Gauranga Deva as an incarnation, they do not accept the view of Gauranga Deva. They do not accept the view that Gauranga Deva was the combined form of Radha and Krishna. They fail to realize that the self of Krishna is covered with the bhava and appearance of Radha. Moreover, narrow-minded devotees of Gauranga Deva also fail to explain them this tattva because their knowledge is eclipsed by delusion. So, they unnecessarily enter into lengthy arguments and counter-arguments with the so-called scholars. But yogis, jnanis, or sadhakas take no difficulty to understand this tattva. The tattva which Bhagavan has given Radha Krishna was propagated through sadhana in the incarnation of the Gauranga. Radha Krishna tattva is sadhya, which is the bhava of Bhagavan. Very important thing. Gauranga tattva is sadhana, which is the bhava of a bhakta. Let me repeat this. This is a very important point to note. Radha Krishna tattva is sadhya, which is the bhava of Bhagavan. Gauranga Tattva is sadhana, which is the bhava of a bhakta. Therefore, Bhagavan, who enacted Radha Krishna Lila as the supreme divine entity, also realized the sweetness of that Lila Rasa as a devotee, sweetness of Lila Rasa as a devotee, and showed the path to common man. Here lies the difference between the incarnation of Radha Krishna and that of Gauranga Deva. Otherwise, there is no elemental difference between them. This is what is called as Achintya Bheda Tattva, the unthinkable Tattva, implying both identity and the difference in the Vaishnava philosophy. Radha is Bhagavan's Bhadri Shakti. Hence, there is absolutely no elemental difference between Sri Krishna, the Shaktiman, and Sri Radha, the Shakti. Shakti mata sa api ma vibheda kathaditana Smruti. Just as there is no qualitative difference between the mosque and its odor, no visual difference between fire and its burning power, similarly, there is no difference in the form of in form and quality between Radha and Krishna. Hence, they are ever inalienable and singular in form. Shakti is the cause of Deva and the universe. Hence, Deva and the universe are consequence of his action. In fact, action will merge in cause and cause will merge in Brahma. Therefore, sannyasis following the path of jnana always aim at the ultimate tattva. They do not focus on Jiva and Jagat because devotees rejoice at Lila Rasa and they don't ignore Lila or Jiva. Because devotees rejoice at Lila Rasa, they do not ignore Lila or Jiva and Jagat. So, such difference has to be recognized. Although his Shakti and function of Shakti, as manifested in creation, seem to be separate, but these are indeed inseparable from him. Just as such inseparability is unthinkable, similarly, the apparent separation is also unthinkable. It is precisely the speciality of Vaishnava philosophy in comparison with other philosophies. So narrow-minded devotees, unable to realize its cause and purpose, endeavor to assert the superiority of their own view by criticizing other Vedantic views. The purpose of Vichara Shastra is to express its objective quite clearly. Therefore, commentaries and annotations of the Vedanta have been written by different sects, keeping their respective objective in view. So, Bhakta Vedantic says that just as it is impossible on our part to think of difference between Bhagavan and his Shakti, similarly, it is also equally impossible to think of identity between them. Therefore, Bheda rather has to be acknowledged. Although Shaktiman and Shakti are inseparable, their difference is achintya and their identity also achintya. In other words, it is impossible to clearly contemplate this fact. It transcends all imagination, so that Bheda is unthinkable. Gauranga Deva is Abheda Tattva and Radha Krishna Bheda Tattva. The ultimate destination of a Premika Bhakta is to first attain the state of Gauranga through sadhana and realize thereafter Asamardha Viradata Madhurya of Radha Krishna. It is undoubtedly the supreme attainable. So, the Vaishnavas have taken Achintya Bheda Tattva from the Vedanta philosophy. So, according to them, to attain Advaita Tattva, that is the essence of Gauranga through sadhana, and thereon to embark on realizing Veda Tattva, that is Radha Krishna Lila Rasa Madhurya, are supreme attainable. The sadhana of aspiring a holistic realization of divine peace on attaining Gauranga Deva's power and thereafter experiencing Radha Krishna Lila Rasa are discussed in the next chapter.
Right, the Smruti Karana is when you try to finish it in 5 minutes so that we can do that part. Jamaro, the Tattva Sarila, it's a long chapter, it took us 3 or 4. Some of just 3, some of just at least to finish through it. Pero, this is the Bhagavad Gita. କଥାଟା ହେଲା ଆମେ ଜାଣିବା ଆରମ୍ଭ କରିବା ଜାଣିବା ଯେ ये तत्वटी साध्य माने it is possible to achieve success or perfection possible ताको चरम साध्य बोली फर्स्ट माने आत्मा तापर आउ किछ नाही ता होबा को हेले कोन करिया पड़ियो ना लास्ट लाइन रे लास्ट पैराग्राफ रे लिखितंती जे अद्वैत तत्व रे एक प्रतिष्ठित होबा पड़ियो से अद्वैत तत्वर पर्सनिफिकेशन होचंती से भगवान ताको भितरे थिले कृष्ण आ बाहर बुड़ी थिले राधा राधा से निश्चित थिले गोटे बॉडी रे द सिग्निफिकेंस ऑफ दैट इज जो अद्वैत तत्व ब्रह्म छड़ा किछ नाहंती जगत ब्रह्ममय इत्यादि इत्यादि सेटा फुटी उठिला किंतु तांको भितर भेद अछि ई तत्वरे पहुंची गला परे ता भितर भेदटाको दृश्य करिवे भेद दिला कोन जे कृष्ण अछंती राधा तांको सेवा करछंती एटा लीला किंतु तत्व राधा और कृष्ण होचंती एका समान आउ से जिनटा को उपलब्धि करिया को हेले प्रथमे आपण से अधिक ज्ञान रे हवा परिस्थित हवा पड़ियो तो अधिक ज्ञान केमिति होय से रस तत्व साध्य साधन है बहुत प्रकार तार गोटे गोटे डिफरेंट शास्त्र प्रोसेस सब अच्छी से पर पढ़ा किंतु आम भितर की जिनटा टिके बसी जाऊ जे जिते राष्ट्र लीला इला दत्तर जुग कृष्ण जन्म होते से राष्ट्रलीला कराई जे नित्य लोकर भावटा को ये लोक देखा से भेद तत्व राधा entity one person कृष्ण another person राधा कृष्ण भल पाउछन कृष्ण राधा भल पाउछन केही का न देखले रहि पाना छोटा कराई सेटा एक्टिंग करी समस्त देखि दिया है तार तत्वटा कोन काई जने जन एते भल पाई परियो जन को माने केवल परम पुरुष जन भल पाई केमिति भल पाई तार अभिष्ट तत्वटा गणा जो निजे आसी देखी देले भीतर कृष्ण बाहर रखा है किंतु से जो जिनटी से प्रचार करके गले जो अचिंत जरागत तत्व बोली कहूचे दैट इज व्हाट ही हैज प्रोपगेटेड बहुत समय बहुत लोग कौन से भक्ति धर्म प्रचार करछथि हम भक्ति धर्म करिसेथि भक्ति धर्म रो विभिन्न वाद अछि तांकर जो वाद अछि हला अचिंत जरागत तत्व अचिंत जरागत वाद से प्रचार करछथि टिके आमे भितर पसि जाऊ स्ट्रॉन्ग ही रही जाऊ तापरे बाकी जिनस प्रेमगुर आउटा डिफिकल्ट हुए बुझापी जस्ट डिफरेंट प्रोसेस हाउ टू गेट देयर कोर बिलीफ है जे गुरु और गुरु को शक्ति ठाकुर ग्यारंटी पकड़ से अभिन्न से शक्ति जहाँ द्वारा गुरुंर कार्य सब भितर अच्छा लुचि तेणु आम ठाकुर आउ कौन मूर्ति पूजा करने देना से ठाकुर पूजा कले भितर माँ भी अच्छा माँ हेल्ले शक्ति से सहित अभेद से अभेद होकर अच्छा द्वारा कार्य सब हो बिना परमिशन किसी हेनी माँ ही परमिशन दिखती आमको कहीं अंडर अच्छे ना माया अंडर अच्छे मायारू बाहर माँ ही आमको परमिशन दे कि माँ किए ना माँ भी गुरु और गुरु शक्ति से मिसिक अच्छा से अच्छा यार एग्जाम्पलटा से जमी देखिए से जिनटा आम टे भितर पशि जाऊ बाकी जिन गुड़ाक धीरे धीरे इजिली आम आब्जर्व कर साधना कर पहुँचवाटा बहुत कष्ट साध्य किंतु धीरे धीरे कृपा से कृपा कले जमी नारद भक्ति सूत्र कहते भक्ति संचारटा हुए महत कृपा महत लब्धवा ना कौन गोटे अच्छी तार महत कृपा भक्ति संचार हुए ठाकुर हेल्ले महान महान कहीं जान तेणु कृपार ये जिनसा आम भितर हम किंतु आम से जो बही देती पढ़ा कहते बुझा कहते से आम खाली कर चलता कृपा हम सो आज टे वीक तले विश्व भाईकर फादर चली गले आज आम स्मृति चारण कर आज 14th डे है तो 14th डे स्मृति चारण कर तेणु विश्व भाई को कहूँ बापा विषय किसी कहतु नीर प्रार्थना करिए कंटिन्यू विथ संगीत विश्व भाई
जय गुरु गत 1 तारिख जून 1 तारिख दिन बापा श्री ठाकुर जनाश्रित होती बापा संघ सेवी थे स्वर संघ सेवक भाव में पाखापाखि 5 वर्ष सेवा कर मोहनी भाई द्वारा सी शिक्षा करते ठाकुर सेवा शिक्षा करते स्वर संघ आसी मुठक आसला बापा बास्तवपुर संघर परिचय पत्र करुले बेले बेले से भी सेवा करती बापा गाँव रे गोटे मंदिर रे कृष्ण मंदिर रे पूजक भाव में कार्य करते भी सेठी बापांकर हठात हाई ब्लड प्रेशर था हठात ब्रेन स्ट्रोक है से डाक्तरखाना जीवा बाटर ही ठाकुर को जनाश्रित है आमर परिवार ठाकुर को जानी मो मामू घर तरफ मो मऊसा द्वारा मो माँ जानी ठाकुर को मो बापा परे बहुत परे ठाकुर को ग्रहण करते ठाकुर को एतिक मो प्रार्थना जनाऊँगी ये दुख समय एतिक कष्ट समय ठाकुर आमको घंट घोड़े रखी था हाथ आमको हाथ धरी जमी पार कर निमती कष्ट एमती दुख आमर कौन गुरु भाई बा गुरुआ माने न पातु ठाकुर कृपा बा दयालु से आमको रक्षा करतु एमती परिस्थिति
जय प्रार्थना करवा ज्योति निमंते श्री ठाकुर चरण में प्रार्थना करवा निर प्रार्थना कर जय गुरु कहूँ आरंभ कले फिर नेक्स्ट जय गुरु है प्रार्थना चल जय
बंदी ଜଳଧି ମାୟା ଭଉରୀରେ ବୁଡ଼ି ମୁଁ ମଲିନି ଭବ ଜଳଧି ମାୟା ଭଉରୀରେ ବୁଡ଼ି ମୁଁ ମଲିନି ମାୟା ସଂସାରେ ବଞ୍ଚିବା ମରିବା ସମାନ ହେଲାଣି ମାୟା ସଂସାରେ ବଞ୍ଚିବା ମରିବା ସମାନ ହେଲାଣି ଦେଇଥିଲ ଯେଉଁ ଦୁର୍ଲଭ ଜୀବନ ନ ବୁଝି ହେଳାରେ ବିତାଇଛି ଦିନ ଦେଇଥିଲ ଯେଉଁ ଦୁର୍ଲଭ ଜୀବନ ନ ବୁଝି ହେଳାରେ ବିତାଇଛି ଦିନ ନିରାଶରେ କାନ୍ଦି କାନ୍ଦି ନିରାଶରେ କାନ୍ଦି କାନ୍ଦି ତୁମ ପ୍ରେମ ଡୋରେ ବାନ୍ଧି ପ୍ରଭୁ ତୁମ ପ୍ରେମ କାନ୍ଦି ମୋତେ ସେଇ ରାଇଜକୁ ନେଇଯାଅ ତୁମ ପ୍ରେମ ଡୋରେ ବାନ୍ଧି ମୋତେ ସେଇ ରାଇଜକୁ ନେଇଯାଅ ତୁମ ପ୍ରେମ ଡୋରେ ବାନ୍ଧି ପ୍ରଭୁ ତୁମ ପ୍ରେମ ଡୋରେ ବାନ୍ଧି ସେ କୁଳେ ଯିବାକୁ ଦିଶୁ ନାହିଁ ପଥ ଦିଗନ୍ଧାରୁଆ ସେ କୁଳେ ଯିବାକୁ ଦିଶୁ ନାହିଁ ପଥ ଦିଗନ୍ଧାରୁଆ এই কুলে লগাও রূপানা বহে ভবনাউরি এই কুলে লগাও রূপানা বহে ভবনাউরিয়া দুনিয়া হাতরু যাহা মুখি নিছি দুনিয়া হাতরু যাহা মুখি নিছি ঘাট মূল পাই ସବୁ ପୁଛି ଦୁନିଆ ହାଟରୁ ଯାହା ମୁଖି ନିଛି ଘାଟ ମୂଳ ପାଇ ସବୁ ପୁଛି ଦାସ ପଣେର ଅଛନ୍ତି ଦାସ ପଣେର ଅଛନ୍ତି ତୁମ ପ୍ରେମ ଡୋରେ ବାନ୍ଧି ପ୍ରଭୁ ତୁମ ପ୍ରେମ ଡୋରେ ବାନ୍ଧି ମୋତେ ସେଇ ରାଇଜକୁ ନେଇଯାଅ ତୁମ ପ୍ରେମ ଡୋରେ ବାନ୍ଧି ତୁମ ପ୍ରେମ ଡୋରେ ବାନ୍ଧି ମାନଭିମାନ ସ୍ୱାର୍ଥ କାମନା ମାନଭିମାନ ସ୍ୱାର୍ଥ କାମନା ମାୟା ମୋହ ଘେରା ବିରହ ବେଦନା ମାୟା ମୋହ ଘେରା ବିରହ ବେଦନା ଯେଉଁଠି ନ କରେ ବନ୍ଦୀ ଯେଉଁଠି ନ କରେ ବନ୍ଦୀ ତୁମ ପ୍ରେମ ଡୋରେ ବାନ୍ଧି ଖାଲି ତୁମ ପ୍ରେମ ଡୋରେ ବାନ୍ଧି ମୋତେ ସେଇ ରାଇଜକୁ ନେଇଯାଅ ତୁମ
Jagru, Sansara Patre, Chapter 9. Initiation in Household Life. Brahmins with following characteristics are qualified to be Guru. Those who have restrained their mind from the material world, control their external sense, and endowed with 9 qualities, good conduct, humility, etc., are gracious, dressed in refined attire, live as a hermit, devoted to sacred meditation of Ishwar, engaged in a particular tantra mantra, erudite and are capable of describing as well as being a gracious to the disciple. After receiving the mantra, if you learn that your Guru is dishonest or not erudite, it will not advise to renounce him. But if you find out about this beforehand, then it is not appropriate to receive initiation from him. Therefore, it is important that you first select a subguru before receiving the initiation. Guru and disciple. The person who has the ability to transfer internal cosmic energy, Atma Shakti, to another is Guru, and the person receiving it is the disciple. The sign of qualified disciples are also described in the scriptures. Anta Vinita Sudhatama Sadhavana Dharana Khyama Samastasya Kulinasya Pranayana Satastika Vita Evam Adi Guna Sitya Patita Nayatha. One that possesses the quality of equality, humility, pure character, sincerity, and absolute faith, patience, adaptance in all jobs, being born in a pious family, experience good moral character, and exhibit good conduct, is worth of being a disciple. Those who exhibit the opposite qualities should not be taken as a disciple. It is a norm that the Guru and the disciple must stay together for a year and get to know more about it, other conduct and character. And if both parties are satisfied, then they proceed with the initiation. Unless one is inclined towards the deep, inquisitive, piety, reverence to the Guru, the preservancy, and leading the life as disciples will put it. One has to establish one's mind on virtue in order to be victorious. However, it cannot be attained through just reading the book and listening to the religious lectures. That requires a deep journey from inside and heart. One needs to be ability to collect and secure the cosmic energy. In the life of disciples, accepting and immunity of Gurudev are using devotion to one and deity as a basis of spiritual decision and as the means of progress towards the perfection. When you consider initiation as a social ritual and looking that, how can you expect any result? Just like planting a seed in an until land and put it similar when initiation someone with an undercleansed mind, no benefit can be expected. Therefore, those who are not yearning in the virtue of life yet must practice the asceticism and respect the company of spiritual people of those purpose of purification of the mind. Therefore, try to find a sadguru and accept the decision. Those who have affinity and devotion towards a particular deity must be initiated with respective deity's mantra. There are many initiation procedures in scriptures. There there are consideration of the place, time, and applicable person. If one is fortunate enough to come across a Sadguru or Siddha mantra, then they must accept it immediately without any consideration. Puja mantra described in the book of Siddha Yogi. Yes.
Jai. Discussion time, so anybody has any questions, you can start talking about it.
भाई जय गुरु भाई गोटे क्वेश्चन थिला भाई जमिति आमे जतो ठाकुर को प्रार्थना करू आमे ठाकुर को केबे आम को जाय कि आमे ज्ञान माने ज्ञान पे प्रार्थना करू विश्वास पे निर्भरता पे किंतु से प्रार्थना समय आमे ठाकुर को थैंक यू कहूनु जमिति कि क्रिश्चियनिटी रे तांकर नॉर्मली जहाँ भी आम टीवी रे कि जहाँ देखू तांकर सब थैंक यू कि ठाकुर को सही माने सहीटा को बहुत स्ट्रेस दिया जाए तो एटा हिंदू धर्म रे किछि गोटे अलगा ना आम सेटा को गोटे माने स्टेप बाय स्टेप प्रोसेस रे एटा फर्स्ट आम टिके विश्वास निर्भरता मागिबा तापर ही करे थैंक यू कहबा
it's a cultural aspect, nothing more. Let's discuss about it. आपको कौन प्रार्थना करा जाए कहीं प्रार्थना करा जाए कि go away from your question, but let's establish that first and we'll come back to this. प्रथम कथा लला ठाकुर को हमें तीनोटी जिनस मागिया को हमको हम संघ निर्देश देछि सेटा हला ज्ञान भक्ति और विश्वास विश्वास आसले निर्भरता आसे निर्भरता सेपरेट मागिया दरकार पड़े यदि विश्वास आसीज जमी विराट छुआर माँ उपर विश्वास अच्छी तेणु सी जो बेकट कामुड़ी एपट सब चारिड़े नौ डिया डी करके जाऊँगी इट्स फाइन नॉट थिंकिंग अबाउट वेदर इट्स गोइंग टू फॉल एंड डाई क्या विश्वास अच्छी आम जो विश्वास आसीगला आउ निर्भरता आसीज निर्भर कर जानीजे शक्ति अच्छी आमको ये भवसागर पार करके पारे विश्वास आसीगला से तो पारी करेंगे जिते जन जन आमको लगे जानिए आम सब विश्वास आस ज्ञान भक्ति एकदम मगा जाए कहीं बिना भक्ति ज्ञान हुए बिना ज्ञान मुक्ति हुए तेणु बिना भक्ति मुक्ति हुए तेणु यहाँ जिन ये दीटा जिन हाँपाई विश्वास रखा दरकार सी सत्य सब ज्ञानर आकर कहले कृपारू आमर भी से भक्ति संचार करदे भक्ति होगला यहाँ भी प्रकृत आम किए आम जाना तार सी कथा हूँ गोटे दृष्टि देखिले ये जिनसा आम तुम मागुचे ताप आम किसी प्रार्थना ना जे ठाकुर आम कहे थैंक यू लॉर्ड फॉर ऑल योर थिंग्स एंड ऑल दैट आम तार गोटे जिन आप वेदांत दृष्टि देखिए आमर ठाकुर भर किसी डिफरेन्स ना अद्वैत वेदांत दृष्टि समस्ते ब्रह्म ब्रह्ममय जो आप माया आवरण खसीज आप ब्रह्म हो किसी डिफरेन्स रहा किए क्या कृतज्ञता दब गोटे जिन आ गोटे जिन जड़े जन को कृतज्ञता देले तार बेसिकली गोटे भाव रोचे आई एम एबल टू डू समथिंग गिव समथिंग आम क्षमा मान कृतज्ञता दो आमर स्पिरिचुअल कल्चर आम क्षमा मागु आम भूल कर दूँ क्षमा कर किंतु आम कहूँ जे ठाकुर क्षीर फल कम तुम करदेल आई शुड थैंक यू वेरी मच वी डोंट डू दैट कहीं थैंक यू कहवा बेले वी आर लुकिंग आउट ऑफ एट द सेम लेवल ना शिव कृष्ण निश्चय भक्ति भक्ति देवा मुझे ज्ञान मार्ग पसंद करी भक्ति कहूँ ଭକ୍ତି ମାର୍ଗରେ ଯିବେ ତା ଭିତରେ ରହୁଛି ଟିକେ ଡିଫରେନ୍ସ ଆପଣ ସ୍ତ୍ରୀ ଲୋକଙ୍କୁ ଯାଇକି ତାଙ୍କୁ ଥ୍ୟାଙ୍କ ୟୁ କହନ୍ତୁ। ଆମେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ତାଙ୍କ ସେବା କରିଯାଉଛେ ଆମେ କ୍ଷମା ମାଗିବା ଯେ କଲାବେଳେ କିଛି ଭୁଲ ହେଇଗଲା କି କ୍ଷମା କରିଦେବା। ଆଉ ଯେତେବେଳେ ସିଦ୍ଧତାରେ ପହଞ୍ଚିଗଲେ ଏକତ୍ଵ ଭାବ ଆସିଗଲା ସେତେବେଳେ ଆଉ କିଛି ତ ଡିଫରେନ୍ସ ନାହିଁ। ଆଉ କିଏ କାହାକୁ କ୍ଷମା ମାଗୁଛି କିଏ କାହାକୁ ଫେଙ୍କି ଦେଉଛି କିଛି ରହିନି। So not convincing anybody else wants to add anything. I'm not sure I've read any particular thing that Thakur has said which says you don't have to thank. ଯଦିଓ ଗୀତରେ ସବୁ ଅଛି, ବିଭିନ୍ନ ଗୀତରେ ଅଛି, ଆମର ନୂଆ ଗୀତ ଗୋଟେ ଅଛି କି ଭାଷାରେ କୃତଜ୍ଞତା ଜଣାଇଛି ମୋର
ଜୟ ଭାଇ ଟିକେ ମନଟା ଟିକେ ଆସୁଛି ଯେ ଆମର ଭକ୍ତି ଭାବର ସାଧନା ସାଧନା ନିୟମ ତାକୁ କହିଛନ୍ତି ଯେ ମାନେ କ'ଣ ଦୁଇ ହୋ କର ଜ୍ଞାନ ସେଇଟା ଭକ୍ତି ଭାବରେ ଆମର କୃତଜ୍ଞତା ଆମର ମନରେ ତାଙ୍କର ଫର୍ମାଲିଟି ଗୁରୁଙ୍କ ପାଖରେ ଆମର କିଛି ଫର୍ମାଲିଟି ନାହିଁ। ଅନ୍ତରରେ ଆମେ ଜାଣିବା ଦରକାର ଯେ ପ୍ରକୃତରେ ସେ ଆମ ପାଇଁ କ'ଣ କରିଛନ୍ତି ଆଉ କ'ଣ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ଆଉ ମାନେ ସେ କ'ଣଟା କରିପାରନ୍ତି ଆମ ପାଇଁ। ଆଉ ସେଇଟା ଜାଣିକି ଆମ ପାଖରେ ଆମେ ତାଙ୍କ ପାଖରେ ସବୁବେଳେ କୃତଜ୍ଞ ରହିବା ଦରକାର। କୃତଜ୍ଞତା ଆମ ଅନ୍ତର ଭିତରେ ଭରି ରହିବା ଦରକାର ଗୁରୁଙ୍କ ପ୍ରତି। ତାକୁ ଆପଣ ଯାହା କରୁଛନ୍ତି ଆମ ପାଇଁ ଯାହା ବି କରିଛନ୍ତି ଆମ ପାଇଁ ସେଥିପାଇଁ ଆମେ ଚିର କୃତଜ୍ଞ। ଆମର ମନେ ପଡ଼ୁଛି ବଗୁଡ଼ା ସୁଇରେ ଲେଖିଛନ୍ତି କେତେ ମୁସଲମାନ କହିଲା ଠାକୁରଙ୍କୁ ଆସିକି ସେ ସ୍ୱରୂପାନନ୍ଦ ମହାରାଜ କହିଛନ୍ତି ମୋ ପାଇଁ ଯେ ଚମଡ଼ା କାଟିକିରି ସେ ଜୋତା କରି ପିନ୍ଧନ୍ତି ମଧ୍ୟ ମୁଁ ତାଙ୍କ ଗୁଣ ଶୁଝି ପାରିନାହିଁ। ଆମ ମନ ଭିତରେ ସେଇ ଭାବଟା ଆସିବା ଦରକାର ଗୁରୁ ଆମ ପାଇଁ କ'ଣ କରୁଛନ୍ତି। ମୁହଁରେ ତାଙ୍କୁ କଲେ କ'ଣ ହବ ଯଦି ଅନ୍ତର ଭିତରେ ସେ ଭାବ ନ ଫୁଟୁଛି ଯେ ସେ ମୋର ଗୁରୁ ମୁଁ ତାଙ୍କ ଶିଷ୍ୟ ତାଙ୍କ ମାନେ ତାଙ୍କ ପାଇଁ ମୁଁ କୃତ ଦାସ ମୁଁ ଯାହା କଲେ ମଧ୍ୟ ତାଙ୍କ ଋଣ ଶୁଝି ପାରିବି। ଏ ଭାବଟା ଅନ୍ତର ଭିତରେ ଫୁଲ ହେଇଥିବା ଦରକାର ପୂର୍ଣ୍ଣ ହେଇ ରହିବା ଦରକାର। ମୁହଁରେ ଭାଇ କ'ଣ ଅଛି ମୁହଁରେ ତୁମେ ଯେତେ କହିଲେ ଠାକୁର କହିଲେ ଠାକୁରଙ୍କ କଥାକୁ ମୁଁ କହୁଛି ଠାକୁର କହିଲେ ଯେ ଭଗବାନଙ୍କୁ ଶଳା କହିଲେ ଯାହା ବାବା କହିଲେ ମଧ୍ୟ ସେଇଆ ତାଙ୍କ ପାଖରେ ଡିଫରେନ୍ସ ଠାକୁରଙ୍କ କଥା ଯେ ଭଗବାନଙ୍କୁ ଶଳା କହିଲେ ଯାହା ବାବା ମଧ୍ୟ କହିଲେ ସେଇଆ ତାଙ୍କ ପାଖରେ କିଛି ଡିଫରେନ୍ସ ନାହିଁ। ତା ମୁହଁରେ କହିଲେ କ'ଣ ଅଛି ସେଟା ଅନ୍ତର ଭିତରେ ପୂର୍ଣ୍ଣ ହେଇ ରହିବା ଦରକାର। ହ୍ୱାଟ୍ ହି ଇଜ୍ ହ୍ୱାଟ୍ ୱି ଆର୍।
ଭାଇ ହେଲା ତ ରହିଲା ଗୀତ
ନାଇଁ ଭାଇ ବୁଝିପାରିଲି।
Any other question?
ଭାଇ ଏବେ ଯୋଉ ପଢିଲେ ଭାଇ ଆମର ଇଂଲିଶରେ ଯେ once they accept each other then the initiation starts. If both parties are satisfied then they will proceed with the initiation. That initiation କ'ଣ ଶକ୍ତି ସଂହିତାକୁ ବୁଝୁଛି ନା କୋଉଟା?
ଦୀକ୍ଷା ଏଇ ଚାପ୍ଟରଟା ସଂସାର ପକ୍ଷରୁ ଆସିଛି ତାନ୍ତ୍ରିକ ଗୁରୁରୁ। ତାନ୍ତ୍ରିକ ଗୁରୁରେ ଅଛି ଗୁରୁ ଶିଷ୍ୟ ନିର୍ବାଚନ ତାର ପଦ୍ଧତିଟା ଦେଇଛନ୍ତି। ତାର ପ୍ରୋସେସଟା ହେଲା ଯେ ଶିଷ୍ୟ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଗୁରୁ ବରଣ କରିବାକୁ ଚାହିଁବେ ଜଣଙ୍କୁ ଗୁରୁ ବୋଲି ଭାବି ତାଙ୍କ ଆଶ୍ରମରେ ଉପସ୍ଥିତ ହେବେ ତାଙ୍କ ସହିତ 1 ବର୍ଷ ଏକା ସାଙ୍ଗରେ ରହିବେ। ଗୁରୁ ସହବାସ ଗୁରୁଙ୍କ ସାଙ୍ଗରେ ବର୍ଷେ ରହିଲେ କ'ଣ ହୁଏ ନା ଗୁରୁ ଶିଷ୍ୟଙ୍କୁ ଦେଖନ୍ତି ଶିଷ୍ୟ ଗୁରୁଙ୍କୁ ଦେଖନ୍ତି। ଶିଷ୍ୟ ଜାଣନ୍ତି ଗୁରୁ କେତେ କାମ କଲା ଗୁରୁ ଜାଣନ୍ତି ଶିଷ୍ୟଟା କେଡ଼େ ଯୋଗ୍ୟ। ଯେତେବେଳେ ଯୋଗ୍ୟ ହେଇକିରି ଫାଇନାଲି ବର୍ଷେ ବିତିଗଲା ଇଏ ଜାଣିଲେ ଯେ ହଁ ଇଏ ଶିକ୍ଷକ ଭଲ ଯୋଗ୍ୟ ଶିକ୍ଷକ ୟାକୁ ଶିକ୍ଷା କଲେ ମୋ ଧାରରେ ଚଳିପାରିବ। ସେ ବି ଜାଣନ୍ତି ଗୁରୁ ଜଣେ ଭଲ ପଞ୍ଚ ଆଦମୀ ମତେ ତାଙ୍କର ଯାହା ଜ୍ଞାନ ଦେବା କଥା ସେ ତାଙ୍କଠୁ ମୁଁ ଆହରଣ କରିପାରିବି। ତାପରେ ଗୁରୁ ଯାଇକି ତାଙ୍କ ଦୀକ୍ଷା ଦିଅନ୍ତି। ଏଇଟା ହେଲା ଆମର ଏଇଟା ଗୋଟେ ପ୍ରାଚୀନ ପୁରାତନ ଧାରା। ଲାଷ୍ଟ ଲାଇନଟା ପଢ଼ନ୍ତୁ ତା ଦେହରେ ଲେଖିଛନ୍ତି ଯଦି ସିଦ୍ଧ ମନ୍ତ୍ର କେତେବେଳେ ଆପଣଙ୍କ ଆସିଗଲା ତତ୍କ୍ଷଣାତ୍ ଗ୍ରହଣ କରନ୍ତି ଆଉ ସମୟ କାଳ ବିଚାର କରନ୍ତି ନାହିଁ। one is fortunate enough to come across a Siddha Guru or Siddha Mantra, then they must accept it immediately without any deliberation. So see process में आसते किंतु हम संघरे गोटे नियम अच्छी जे अपन परिचय धारण कले आम कहते दीक्षा है ठाकुर दीक्षा देले मंत्र आप ग्रहण कले गुरु बोली मानिले से गुरु उपदेश देले इत्यादि इत्यादि जो नुआ भक्त मैंने आसती ठाकुर पाक आसिले प्रथम दर्शक कर रखा जाए गोटे वर्ष दर्शक रहा से परिचयपत्र आप्लाय कर पारती ना परिचयपत्र आप्लाय कर दिया जाए परिचयपत्र आप्लाय कले ग्रांट करा जाए यही धारा गुरु शिष्य परंपरा शिष्य जाए गुरु सागर वर्ष रही आश्रम आसले सागर मिसिले सब कले आगुरी आगे गोटे दुराचरण भाई रखिले जो मैंने परिचयपत्र फास्ट टाइम आप्लाय करती संघरे तो वर्ष है जॉइन कर कौन करेंगे कह गोटे कम कर तुम आप्लिकेसन लिखिल संघरे जितक भाई अच्छा समस्त को जाकि जना जो मुझे आप्लाय कर समस्ते नो ऑब्जेक्शन देवे टे टफ करते फल कौन हुए ना ये जो जिनसा आगुरी था गुरुकुल गुरु आश्रम था गुरु स्थूल गुरु स्थूल ना तेणु से जिनसा केमती करना सांग रही भावटा आप धारण करें Any other questions? अच्छा ताले हमरो टाइम इगलन so it's about a minute before 11. Shreya or Prashna Sangha Shreya when you're ready.
Jai तुम दया दाने जीवन कुसुम फुटाई प्रभु ए धरा धामे ए चिर वंचिता मोर प्रियतम अंजलि दे तुम चरणी तुम दया दाने जीवन कुसुम फुटाई प्रभु ए धरा धामे मोते तुम चल पथे झरी पड़ी थी प्रेमो तुम पद प्रांते आदरने आदरे तुरी तेरे सौभाग्य मोर जीवने तुम दया दाने जीवन कुसुम फुटाई प्रभु ए धरा धामे लगी तुम्हारे मन गणे तुम दया दाने जीवन कुसुम फुटाई प्रभु ए धरा धामे जाइनी जागो मरणे मना तुम दया दाने जीवन कुसुम फुटाई प्रभु ए धरा धामे तुम पाई मुझे चिरमणिला तुम्हें मो पुराण तुम्हें मो जीवाना तुम्हारी चरण से परिप्रिया है लागी रही धाई से पकपणे तुम दया दाने जीवन कुसुम फुटाई प्रभु ए धरा धामे हे चिर वंचिता मोर प्रियतम हे चिर वंचिता मोर प्रियतम अंजलि दे तुम चरणे अंजलि दे तुम चरणे अंजलि दे तुम चरणे.
Thank you, Shyama. Beautiful song, very appropriate. Subhasis bhai, that's the answer.
Jai Guru. Jai Guru. We will start with attendance, and then after Shreya can explain the meaning of the song that she just sang. Aditi?
Jai Guru.
Jai Guru. Adhyasa? Jai Guru. Aishti?
Jai Guru.
Jai Guru. Anhe?
Jai Guru.
Jai Guru. Ansh?
Jai Guru.
Jai Guru. Richo?
Guru se Masu. Jai Guru.
Jai Guru. Arnav?
Jai Guru.
Jai Guru. Arnav?
He's coming. He is coming.
Jai Guru. Arush?
Jai Guru.
Jai Guru. Aryan?
Jai Guru.
Jai Guru. Jamo?
Jai Guru.
Jai Guru. Dhyan? Devangi?
Jai Guru Ma.
Jai Guru. Divyam?
Jai Guru Ma.
Guru Guru. Timi?
Tim is coming.
Okay. Jai Guru. Eva?
Jai Guru Ma.
Jai Guru. Jagra?
Jai Guru Sahiyana.
Jai Guru. Thank you. Naitik?
Jai Guru Ma.
Jai Guru. Pratyusha?
Jai Guru Ma.
Jai Guru. Pratyush?
Jai Guru Ma.
Jai Guru. Saraswat? Sarsa? Bhakti?
Jai Guru Ma.
Jai Guru. Bobby? Jai Guru.
Jai Guru. Shruti?
Jai Guru.
Jai Guru. Shreya?
Jai Guru.
Jai Guru. Manu?
Jai Guru.
Jai Guru. Jimmy?
Jai Guru.
Jai Guru. Siddharth?
He's not joining today.
Jai Guru. Simran?
Jai Guru.
Jai Guru. Shuja?
Jai Guru.
Jai Guru. Suhani?
Jai Guru.
Jai Guru. Yukta?
Chukuma.
Jai Guru. Okay, with that, I've completed attendance. If I do...
Chudna? Saraswati.
Jai Guru. Okay, anybody else? Okay, excellent. So let's start out. Shreya, can you explain the meaning of the song you just sang?
Jai Guru. Essentially, it means by your blessings, as in Thakura's blessings, you have blossomed my life's flower on this earth. I'm sacrificing myself as a flower at your feet, and I'm there next to the path of your journey. And as a flower, I will lie on that path to be graced by your feet. And for you, I will always remain fresh. You are my life and soul, and I will always be serving your feet as an eternal servant.
Jai Guru. And so that song actually goes, the meaning of that song actually goes well with what we're going to discuss today. It's a beautiful song, and so it, like a lot of our songs, explains our relationship to Thakura, right? And in this case, it uses imagery of a flower. So we are, dependent on him, we are doing what we do for him, and we rely on his blessing. And from that song, from everything Shreya said about that transition of the song, you can see that there is a very deep connection between us and Thakura in this relationship with him as our guru. And so, Thakura is our second time doing the session. We're mostly focused on the middle school age-ish group. Last month we talked about Guru and Sangha, and today we're going to talk more about and explore more about our Guru Thakura's relationship with us. And so we've talked about this before, and we've had some discussion. But from this point onwards, so if you look at your program, there's a book listed, Nigam, pages 156 to 159. Sometimes there will be, sometimes it'll be attached to the program, something to read, sometimes it will come from a book. Today, it's coming from a book, and if you have the English Upadesha with you, or your parents know that you have it, I would definitely get that open because we're going to read from it. If you don't have it, one of the young aspirants will be reading that for you every time we do this. So from now on, be looking at that program, see if there's a book reading that it says. It'll be great if you know that you have that book to have it ready to go when we have the session. But before we start reading, I do want to start us out thinking about our relationship with Thakura because it's been a little bit since we've talked about that. So, what exactly is our relationship with Thakura, or our Guru? Aditi? What's our relationship with Thakura?
Guru, our relationship with Thakura is that he is the Guru and we are his disciples.
Great. And so what does he want for us?
He wants us to love him and listen to him since he takes care of everything. He wants us to love him and listen to him in return.
Okay. So he'll take care of everything for us, and what we do, he wants us to love, respect, and listen to what he says for us, because that's what will be best for us. Okay, so keeping that in mind, and we all know Guru is our Guru, we all have our relationships with him to think about. Jimmy is going to start reading pages 156 through 159 from Nigamananda. So Jimmy, when you're ready, please start reading.
Life is unending. Dear child, God is infinite, and also you are infinite and beginningless. Creation, preservation, and dissolution have been going on since time immemorial. In addition, you and I have also been coming and going since then. Moreover, there is no limit or end to these coming and going, this creation. One can experience the dawning of seven freedom as one performs japa of Ishta mantra. Don't consider what you realize to be the final realization. Think that so much more is left to be realized, for He is infinite. If I say this mantra will generate in you, so feel. You will only have that much realization, because in this connection I drew a boundary line limiting your feelings. Don't pay heed to whatever you notice or hear by reciting mantra. Remember that it is not the end. One's spiritual progress is primarily dependent upon the compassion of God and Sri Gurudev. Sadhan bhajan is only secondary. If one can love Sri Gurudev selflessly and perform his duty without any word you desire, he can assimilate the power of God, Gurudev. I wish that you all possess the phenomenal strength, formidable strength, and indomitable energy of a tiger. I want you to become greater than me. All parents, all gurus desire defeat from their children or disciples. Such a delicious defeat enhances the glory of a father or a guru. I want that. I also want that the tiger's progeny becomes a tiger. In place of one Nigamananda, let there be 100 of Nigamananda. I have not forbidden any of my disciples to go to any other saint or man of the great soul. There are as many views as many paths. So it is not good to quit the path shown by one Gurudev and accept at once the philosophy or path of another. Such is also the instruction of a sculptor. But I shall never be sad if any of my disciples or devotees consider someone greater or more powerful than me and accept his philosophy or path for his welfare. I have no reason to feel belittled if any disciple quits me and finding in someone else whatever I do not have. But it will immensely pain me if I find those whom I love invite disaster by walking on the path highly detrimental to their spiritual growth. We have links on each other's lives, but so there is no end to our sadhana. In spite of self-liberation, one has to endure pravata. Even after the attainment of jnana, A liberated person also bears calmly the fruit of Pabanda. Even though I have completed my work, I have to work for others as I am linked with the actions of others. I do not ordinarily give initiation to others. Initiation is the topmost job of Sri Gurudev. It presupports and the preparation, the ground or container. If a seed of initiation is sown on the suitable and fertile ground, it bears fruit within a small time. If it is sown on the infertile and unsuitable ground, its germination will be considerably delayed. So while progressing the path of religion with a little faith, you will live the life of mortality and absorb the principles of Paribrajakacharya. During the execution of studies, students strive to purify and strengthen your body, mind, and heart. It is the principle sadhana in building the character. I have noticed after initiating several people that it has not produced so much good results. It is because their field was not prepared for it. For that reason, I'm not willing to give initiation at first. Prepare first the ground of surveying with 3 preliminary principles and regulations. As soon as mine is steady, I must give you an appropriate time whatever I have to give. If you have faith in my words, live accordingly to what I have told you. The individual and the collective issue. The Guru Sita Shishya style of relationship is the closest. In fact, Guru and Shishya are one in the soul, but separate in the body. Again, ascending higher is found that Guru is body and Shishya is subtle. Because at the highest level, one day the shadow will melt into the body. See, Sadguru knows a disciple in 2 ways. First, as an individual, second, as a guru. I am Nigamananda. You have sat in front of me. I see you and recognize you. It is called Deva, or individual feeling. And in such recognition, I might forget the appearance of any disciple, but as a guru, I know and recognize each of my disciples and devotees. I have deep connection with each one. You are my internal companion. Your birth and life are meant to accomplish my work. You are thus wandering with me, birth after birth. Never forget this great strength of mine. You are ever liberated, so far as your own self is concerned. For my work, you have taken birth and life. Your birth and life. Other than it, you have no goal, no desire, and no separate will in your life. All your feelings and functions manifest centering around me. All you do is only for me. I am only the be-all and end-all of your life. Jai Guru.
Jai Guru. Okay. So hopefully, you are either able to follow along or you're just listening. For the rest of you, so before we get into general questions, if you guys had questions, the first thing I will ask you, what was your takeaway from, there are a lot of things covered in those couple of pages, so what was your takeaway from what you just read? So what's one thing that stuck out to you? Manya? Manuel, are you there?
One thing that I take away is that we should follow Thakura and love him and be his disciple with full mind and heart.
Right. So one thing in there that it does talk about quite a bit is we should love Thakura and we should commit ourselves to loving him with all our whole heart, body, mind, all of that. Which brings us back to what Aditya told us about what our relationship is with Thakura. He just wants us to love him. Nightsick, what was your takeaway from this?
My takeaway was that when Jimmy said Thakura and Guru and disciple are like one in the soul, but like they have different bodies.
Mm-hmm. So when you heard that, what did that mean for you, or what did that make you think about or feel? Is Guru and disciple are one?
Like they have a strong bond.
Okay. So had you heard that before, that they were one, or did this help you understand how strong that bond is?
It helps me understand how strong the bond is.
Arush, what was your takeaway?
Jaigu, my takeaway from this is that we should all respect him as our teacher, and we should disciple all of his meanings for others so that they can learn from him also.
So we should see what he's telling us and try to understand that, and then help each other out by explaining that to each other as we might find more or less. Okay, and then last one on this, Nigam, what was your takeaway?
My takeaway is that we should love and respect Thakura as his disciple.
Okay, so it comes back to loving and respecting Thakura, and as his disciples, that should be our primary goal. Excellent. Then from here, there are a lot of different things. So this is actually Thakura's advice, things that he said and told us. That's what we read. And so he goes through a lot of different things, a lot of different advice on and explanation on what exactly it is he expects of us, how he defines us loving him, and what we're supposed to do. So I'm going to kind of go through. In the beginning, I have a few questions. If I ask you something, if you have a question, there'll be a little time at the end, and we'll go through that. But from the first thing they'll ask, and I'll ask this to Yukta. In the first paragraph, it talks about so when you have talked about, there's a mantra that we will say. So what is the thing that we say in our Sangha that helps us evoke those feelings of being close to God? So what has Thakura told us to say?
Chiguma, I don't remember.
So you just said it. What do we say when we greet each other? Or what do we say, like your parents tell you to say if you're worried about a test or you're scared or something?
Chigum?
Okay, good, right? So Thakura has told us to, and one of his instructions, and this is something all of us do, but one of his instructions and part of us loving him and respecting him and understanding that he's telling us to do things that are good for us, one of the things he's told us is to say Jai Guru. So then that's one thing there, right? So by saying Jai Guru, that's one of, and thinking of him at various times, and saying Jai Guru when we're going through our work with him and our work in the world, that's one of the ways that we are showing our relationship to him and strengthening that relationship. When we say Jai Guru, we've got a couple. When you say Jai Guru, how does that make you feel? Jeet?
Jai Guru makes me feel like really good.
It usually makes you feel really good. And when do you usually say Jai Guru? So you say it like here when we're in puja and stuff. Are there times just in your regular life where you say Jai Guru? Like when
I'm getting like stressed out, that's when I usually say Jai Guru.
And it makes you feel good, right?
Yeah.
And that's power, right? That's the power that Sakura has. And just by saying that reminds us of him. And so that's one of the reasons he asked us to do that. Okay.
Yeah.
So then Sakura also says, right, our spiritual progress is determined by something. So what determines our spiritual progress? Ansh?
What determines our spiritual progress? We can determine how far we've gotten into it by seeing how much we're attracted towards material objects, and in our choices, whether we choose to do something materialistic, like let's say watch Netflix, instead of like going to puja.
Right. So we can measure that by how much of our lives we're thinking about Sakura. And he says at the beginning, right? He says, and some of you might not have caught the signs. He says, one's spiritual progress is primarily dependent upon the compassion of God and Sri Gurudev. They're saying, so when we perform our duties without any worldly desire, when we're spending more time thinking of Sakura and not other things that we could be doing, that's how we see that spiritual progress. But also, because of our relationship with him, and because of who he is, we will make progress with his blessing. And I'm sure some of you have heard your parents say that, have heard other Vaishnavas say that. We are able to move forward by his blessing. Okay. So then there's a portion in the center where he talks about he has not forbidden any of his disciples to go to other saints or other gurus. Why does he say that? Divya?
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah. So Thakur talks about in the middle of page 157, he talks about how he has not forbidden any of his disciples to go to other gurus or to seek spiritual guidance elsewhere. Why does he say that?
We can meet with other gurus.
Right. So what's the only thing Thakur wants for us? Or what's one of the things that we think Thakur wants for us?
Being happy.
Yeah, he wants us to be happy, right? So then that happiness, he's defined for us, right? That happiness we talked about before comes from some spiritual practice, comes from progress on that spiritual path. And so ultimately he wants us to love him, and he wants us to be good people. So when we follow his advice, that's what he's doing. He's pushing us forward on our spiritual path. That's all he wants from us. So then, notice why does he say he doesn't care if we go to other people?
Jai Guru, maybe because he wants the best for us, and maybe he thinks if he thinks somebody else has better values than he does, that we are free to go to them instead of like staying with him.
Right. So part of him being our guru and part of him wanting what's best for us is he'll acknowledge that sometimes maybe what he's giving us, the way that he's showing us how to be better people, how to progress on the spiritual path, maybe that's not working for us. So he says he's never going to be sad if we find something that works for us better, because he wants what is best for us, whatever that may be. And he will want us to find what that is, and he will help us with that, right? His blessings will get us there. And we can do that. The only thing that will make him sad is if we aren't progressing, if we aren't doing what we need to do to be our ideal self. And that is part of that guru-disciple relationship, his immense love for us and when we reciprocate that, that is what makes this bond very powerful. And so he encourages us to put everything at his feet, to trust him, to depend on him entirely. But he's doing that because he loves us so much, and we should feel that relationship, that bond with him, for it to work well for us. And if we don't feel that with him, he talks about that in the next couple of paragraphs, then if we don't feel that, if we don't have that bond with him, that's not going to be as useful to any of us. And so he wants us to understand him, he wants us to love him, and ultimately he wants us to find what is best for us, and he will be there for us regardless of what that is. That's something to think about. Hopefully that's something when you say Jai Guru and think of Chakra, knowing that love that he has for us, hopefully that makes you feel better when you're stressed out, or just makes you feel good in general life. That's something that I'll leave you guys with. It's time for Baba Vinaya, I think, Aditi. Jai Guru.
Jai Guru, today is my Papa Bini Maya Seva. Since we are staying home right now, I join evening prayer regularly. Every day, I'm reading Thakura's English biography book. Something I liked learning in his biography was the chapter on life after death. I found it really interesting. A personal goal I'm working on is to be more nice and helpful to others. I'm also working on staying calm during times when I'm feeling stressed. I'm disappointed that due to COVID-19, we won't have summer nani in the summer. At the same time, I'm glad that everyone in the Sangha is doing well. I have been learning to read and write Odia again since I'm staying home this summer and I have a lot of free time. My goal for the end of the summer is to read Thakura songs in Odia. I pray to Thakura that there will be a vaccine soon for COVID-19 and we will be able to get back to our normal lives. Jai Guru.
जय गुरु आज मोर संघ पूजा पाली अच्छी भाव विनिमय सेवा आज संघ सेवक प्रथम सेसन पढ़ाला ठाकुर को पाइबा अंतर पाइबा ही ठाकुर एक्चुअली पाइबा ठाकुर बारंबार कहते पाइबा अंतर पाइबा हम एवं एठी गोटे भल एग्जांपल मुझे कौटी पढ़ी से विषय कहूँ जड़े गुरु एवं शिष्य थे चली चली जाऊँच गोटे गाँ पाख देखी जाऊँच दूर गोटे बहुत शब्द माने बहुत जोर पाटितुंड शुभागला आस्ते जी निकट होती गाँव से पार्टीटा बढ़ी बढ़ी चलता है से गाँ पाख दे गले से रास्ता देखले दी जन लोक बहुत जोर गंडगोल कर बहुत जोर निजक आक्षेप प्रत्याक्षेप कर कथबार्ता कर बहुत जोर पार्टी जेहेतु गंडगोल कर बहुत जोर पार्टी कर तो से शिष्य जन गुरु को पचारे ये जन एत पाखे ठिया पाटितुंड कर कथबार्ता होते एत जोर कहीं कथबार्ता आसते नॉर्मल भाव में कथबार्ता कले तो शुणी पारते एत जोर कहीं कथबार्ता होती गुरु कहले दी जनकर वर्तमान आत्मा परस्पर ठार बहुत दूर से हृदय बहुत दूर तो से एते जोर चित्कार करी कहते जमी बहुत दूर थिला भाया तेणु जिते राग कि क्रोध मन को आसे से अन्यर हृदय ठार निजर हृदय बहुत दूर को चली जाए एवं से ठाकुर जिते आम पढ़ा समस्ते भी भुवन ब्रह्मचारी लिखिं भी ठाकुर जाते काशी जो महापुरुष संगे मिसी थे से किसी कथबार्ता नक भावर आदान प्रदान केवल से सब कथबार्ता जानी माने सब जहाँ भी कथबार्ता होता भावर आदान प्रदान तो से अंतर शुद्धता एत से कथबार्ता करने पड़ना महापुरुषों कथा तेणु से विषय आउ भाईंकर गोटे विषय से भाईंकर आलोचना आम दुर्गाचरण भाईंकर आलोचना से पचार लिखिं दीटा कथा बहुत बढ़िया भाव में बुझाई जन भक्त को एग्जांपल देखिए जन क्वेश्चन कर जन भक्ति पाश्चात्य भक्ति से पचार विज्ञान आशीर्वाद मनीष विलासमय जीवन जापन सक्षम हो पार्टी किंतु से विज्ञान साहाय्य मनीष कहीं भगवान को पाई पार ना एत प्रकार धर्मर आवश्यकता कौन भाई सेठी आम दुर्गाचरण भाई सेठी कहते विज्ञान अग्रगति अभिशाप नुहे बर आशीर्वाद अभिशापटा है से आविष्कार को मनुष्यर कल्याण परिवर्ते कल्याण लगाइबा पुराण जुगर समुद्र मंथन भली ए जुगर वैज्ञानिक प्रकृति मंथन कर अमृत सहित भगवत और परलोक अविश्वास भली विष बाहर अति निकटवर्ती देखी हुए ना भगवान अति निकट वैज्ञानिक आविष्कार दुईटी दिग प्योर साइंस एवं अप्लाइड साइंस ये प्रयुक्त विद्या अप्लाइड साइंस हूँ प्रयुक्त विज्ञान ये अप्लाइड साइंस मानव विरोधी दिगरे लगाइबा हूँ अशांति रोग प्रलय आदि कारण ईश्वर तत्व ईश्वर सरलता अनुराग ईश्वर कृपार जानिबे डाक्तर जो छुरी रोग निरामय करे से छुरी नरहत्या करे मनीष केवल 7टी रंग देखिपारे अथच भायोलेट भाइब्रेशन कि रंगर रेड कि भाइब्रेशन थी कम रंग से देखिपारे ना साधारण मनुष्य पाखे अल्ट्राभायोलेट इन्फ्रारेड अंधकार भली अथच ये दुई रश्मि शक्तिर कल्पनातीत जगत में अचिंतित अप्राकृत घटना अणदेखा घटना ठार बहुत बेसी केवल विश्वास नहीं आगे पारे सब हेब आप पचार तुम एत धर्म कहीं अच्छ बहुत जाच तो बहुत नद नदी बहुत जल एक शाखा पल्लव अनेक वृक्ष एक ईश्वर बहु नाम और बहु धाम किंतु ईश्वर एक जेपरी सेपरी निर्धारण ठिकणा अभिज्ञ ठार न जानिले पाखे पहुंचबानी जेपरी असंख्य डाक बक्स मध्य कौन सी निर्दिष्ट ठिकणा लिखि चिठी पकाइले ताहा निश्चय लक्ष्यस्थल में पहुंचब किंतु से नाम ठिकणा अभिज्ञ व्यक्ति जाना ठीक से हीपरी बीज बा बंजी वृक्षर कृषकर अख्तियार थाए ताकू जो पारे से लगे पारे न पारे किंतु से अंकुर द्वारा बीजर अधीन आउ गोटे क्वेश्चन कर क्यों साधना कले आम ठाकुर को पाइपर से भाई कहते निजे करने जो स्थान जो जान आरोहण कर से जान गति और बेग तुमको लक्ष्यस्थल में पहुंचाईदेव तेणु प्रकृति जान न बसी पुरुष बा ठाकुर जान बस ठाकुर सहित संबंध स्थापन कर अर्थात निज भितर निजर भीतर बाहर पाखे मुकुला कर निज आलोक हो जाओ आगे भितर आम प्रवेश पर आम भितर प्रवेश तांकर प्रवेश बा प्रकाश आगे आमे तांकर तापर से आमर तेणु तुम्हें सेवक नहले से किपरि तुमर सेवा बा सर्वस्व हेबे से जो ठाकुर कहते संघ मोर स्वरूप भगवान कहार बस नुह केवल भक्त बस रूप को पाइब भक्ति द्वारा अथच अपरूप को जान ज्ञान द्वारा ठाकुर पाखे एति प्रार्थना ठाकुर जेपरी आमे मनमुखी सेवक हो पारिबा एवं तांकर जगत हित कर्म रे आमे जेपरी सहायक हो पारिबा जय गुरु
Jai Guru. I invite you to Chakra, Bhais, Mans, and all young aspirants to the next Sangha session on June 21st. Jai Guru.
Jai Guru.
Jai Guru. Bodai टिके रुहतु भिन्न कया कर निमंत्रण करते भोग संध्या पूजा
हाँ भाई आज मध्याह्न भोग ठाकुर पूजा पर मध्याह्न भोग नवेदन हम ठाकुर मध्याह्न भोग नवेदन ग्रहण ଏବଂ ଏହାପରେ ଭକ୍ତ ମାନେ ପ୍ରସାଦ ସେବନ କରିବେ ଏବଂ ତାପରେ ସନ୍ଧ୍ୟା ପୂଜା ପାଇଁ ମଧ୍ୟ ନିମନ୍ତ୍ରଣ କରୁଛୁ। ଜୟ
ଗୁରୁ। ପ୍ରାଣ ଠାକୁର ସମସ୍ତ ମା ଭାଇ ମାନେ ଆଉ ୟଙ୍ଗ ଆସ୍ପିରେଣ୍ଟସ୍, ମୁଁ ଶ୍ରୀ ଠାକୁର ଏବଂ ଆପଣ ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ ନେକ୍ସଟ ସଂଘ ପୂଜା 21 ତାରିଖ ଜୁନ 21 ତାରିଖକୁ ନିମନ୍ତ୍ରଣ କରୁଛି। ସମସ୍ତେ ପୂଜାରେ ଯୋଗ ଦେଇ ପୂଜାଟିକୁ ସାଫଲ୍ୟ କରିବେ। ଜୟ ଗୁରୁ।
ଜୟ ଗୁରୁ। ଆଜି ପୂଜାରେ ଯାହା ତ୍ରୁଟି ବିଚ୍ୟୁତି ହେଇଛି ସେଥିପାଇଁ ଏବଂ ସେବକ ମାନଙ୍କ ଯେଉଁମାନେ ସେବାରେ ଥିଲେ ସେମାନଙ୍କ ତରଫରୁ ଭାଇମାନ ଏବଂ ଠାକୁରଙ୍କ ପାଖରେ କ୍ଷମା ପ୍ରାର୍ଥନା କରୁଛି ଏବଂ ଠାକୁରଙ୍କ ପାଖରେ କ୍ଷମା ପ୍ରାର୍ଥନା କରୁଛି। ଜୟ ଗୁରୁ।
দয়াময় শ্রী চরণে এই নিবেদন, দয়াময় শ্রী চরণে এই নিবেদন, নিরন্তর তব নাম করিবি স্মরণ, নিরন্তর তব নাম করিবি স্মরণ, ইহা ছড়া রহিব ইতর কামনা, ইহা ছড়া রহিব ইতর কামনা, এই মাত্র ভিক্ষা মোর, এতিকি প্রার্থনা, এই মাত্র ভিক্ষা মোর, এতিকি প্রার্থনা, তুমে প্রভু মুহি দাস এই অহংকার, তুমে প্রভু মুহি দাস এই অহংকার, একমাত্র জীব প্রবল সংসার দেব, একমাত্র জীব প্রবল সংসার, এথিলাগি যেবে কালে নমিলে মুখতি, এথিলাগি যেবে কালে নমিলে মুখতি, তথাপি রখিবি মনে অনন্ত ত্রুপতি দেব, তথাপি রখিবি মনে অনন্ত ত্রুপতি, তুমরি সৃষ্টি ভিতরে তুমরি জগতে, তুমরি সৃষ্টি ভিতরে তুমরি জগতে, পড়িথিবি যহি তহি তুমরি ইঙ্গিতে, পড়িথিবি যহি তহি তুমরি ইঙ্গিতে, ধ্বংস পরে রচনার অভিনব রূপ, ধ্বংস পরে রচনার অভিনব রূপ, দেখি দেখি আসি জীবি অচল স্বরূপ দেব, দেখি দেখি আসি জীবি অচল স্বরূপ, মিলাই ন পারে যেবে তব যন্ত্রে ভঙ্গা বীণা মোর তব নামে বাইজিবি ভঙ্গা বীণা মোর শুণু বা ন শুণু কেহি থিব অহংকার শুণু বা ন শুণু কেহি থিব অহংকার তুমে প্রভু মুহি দাস এতিকি সংসার দেব তুমে প্রভু মুহি দাস এতিকি সংসার প্রেমময় চরণে করে নিবেদন প্রেমময় চরণে করে নিবেদন তুম জয় গাউথিবি সারা জীবন দেব তুম জয় গাউথিবি সারা জীবন জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয় 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 জয়